I think the biggest takeaway message is surrounding 40 gig and 100 gig. I think a couple of years ago we were thinking about 40 gig and some of the technology pieces that we needed to make 40 gig a mass deployable product. But I think the things that we're seeing is that 40 gig is really technology. There's a few different options, but it's a solidified technology. I think we've got to push it out the door, and a lot of other vendors out there, including Tellabs, has made 40 gig modules and is in position to put it out. And I think we're at the next evolution where we start thinking about, okay, what's next on the client side, and now we're all starting to think about 100 gig technology.
WDM Cannes, this is my 4th or 5th year here. Every year the crowd has gotten larger, and I always find out about, what I like about it is that I always find out about what the latest issues are in optical networking. Not just the technologies, but the issues about the technologies. Because the carriers are here and they stay here for the whole time. I get to meet with them, not only listen and ask questions in the sessions, but I get to meet with them at breakfast or lunch or dinner, at the breaks, and almost all of the key manufacturers are here as well. So I find it stimulating. I don't go to training courses around the world, but I come here and I learn a lot. It's one place where I sit in the sessions and learn.
So I think for me the take home from Cannes this year is that the no-brainer, if you like, is the growth of video and the impact that that's having on network capacity, network demand, which is great to see. For me, what's been most interesting to see is the titans of the industry locking horns on the question of the next generation modulation formats and where that's going to go. So there's still a lot of questions out there, a lot of exciting things to be decided, and I think there's still a lot of innovation to come through. It's great to be here, and the best thing I think is that deals are getting done, and that's great for the industry. It's great to see the deals getting done again.
I think the first one is the state of the 40 gig and the 100 gig systems, the modulation techniques, so their advantages and disadvantages, and how quickly they're going to be here. The second one, I think, is the carrier Ethernet and the confusion that the PBBTE technology is in. Everybody seems to be talking about it, but there isn't any hardware to go with it. There isn't any standard hardware anyway. So I think those two things together.
Take-home message from Cannes this week. Very full show, very packed show. I took home that packet growth is here, driven by video. And as transport network providers start to examine how this impacts their network, they're looking towards higher bit rate, 40 gigabit, 100 gigabit. Still looking for that market to mature and grow. And I'm excited to see that reconfigurable OADMs are prevalent throughout our industry. Everyone has one here. And I think that optical networking is seeing a re-emergence thanks to WDM as a protocol-agnostic transport layer. And I'm very excited for the WDM industry as it grows as video grows. So it's been a wonderful week, and I really look forward to seeing next year's show, to see what the next year's comments are. And from last year, IP over WDM was the new adventure, and it was a wild concept. Now this year, I see many presentations with IP over WDM, so hopefully next year we'll see more about flexible optics, flexible spectrum type of devices, and reconfigurable OADMs that do things on the fly.
Because looking back at 4 days of conference now, I was surprised how many technology talks we had. So it seems that things like 40 gig, like modulation schemes, WSS technology, etc., are quite hot topics in the industry, and it's good to see that some of those have matured now and that they're actually being deployed in the network. I was surprised, on the other hand, however, that we didn't really talk so much about energy efficiency, green telco, those type of topics. We might hear a little bit more tomorrow. Today there was a little bit of a pick on WDM PON and how can we eliminate local exchanges, how we can drive bandwidth to the end users without necessarily ranking up the electricity bill and those type of things. So I think tomorrow is still going to be an interesting day. Again, a lot of technology and core networking topics that were discussed. Some of them, I guess, have been discussed maybe a little bit too often and too much. You hear the same story from the vendors quite a bit. So the access focus tomorrow, that's what I'm looking forward to.